Well, hello there, strangers. How are we all today? I feel like I've completely forgotten how to film, but we'll roll with it. Hello there, strangers, and welcome back to my channel. Firstly, I want to apologise for my absence last week. If you don't already know, because you don't follow me on Instagram, I haven't been very well for the past, what day is it now? 2 weeks now. Obviously, I'm a lot better than I was, but I lost my voice completely. Hence why I still sound a bit croaky, because it hasn't fully come back. And when I say completely, I mean completely lost my voice. I was put on antibiotics, which didn't work. So then I was put on another set of antibiotics, which luckily have kind of worked. I was in so much pain with my throat. I had laryngitis, tonsillitis, then they thought I had glandular fever. So it's just been a bit of a rough time, to say the least. And I have quite a high pain threshold and illness tolerance, if you want to call it that. So when I start saying I am in pain, it means I am in pain, because I'll just put up with pain. I'm not fussed about it. I wanted to film a video. I wanted to film eating 24 hours? No, eating Halloween food for 24 hours. But obviously I had no voice, and unless you wanted a miming slash subtitles slash, well, Ella's learning sign language, so she could have done sign language, but I just didn't think it was going to work. And I thought, okay, well, I can't film Sunday, so I'll film Wednesday. But my voice, I think, only started coming back Sunday, so that is way over a week and a bit. And Diz is snoring again. Yes, I'm back home, if you haven't already noticed. It's reading week, so I've come home to do a bit of work. But that's enough of me blabbing on about my life story. I feel like I've completely forgotten how to film. Gosh, this is going great. What am I doing today? That's a good question, which nobody's asked but me. Today I'm filming a what I eat in a day, because that's what you guys on Instagram said you wanted to see. Yeah, that's it really. Just want to point out that I am now a healthy weight. I'm not on a meal plan. I don't count calories. I eat what I want when I want, really. Especially at uni, eating for one is so hard. So I tend to just see how I feel on the day and then go out and buy whatever, just because I don't want to waste food. But what I'm eating today is not necessarily what I will eat tomorrow / ate yesterday. I will just see how I feel and go along with it. Some days I eat more, some days I eat less. But that is just how life is. I'm also a lot more of a night eater. I have been since I was little, and my mum's the same. So I do tend to eat more at night, but that's just preference really, and I get a lot more hungry at night. I do also have a very sweet tooth, which a lot of people have made comments about, but yes, I do eat quite a lot of sweet food. And my sweet food tolerance is extremely high, and all my friends at university will tell you that. And anybody who knows me will tell you that. And yes, I will eat quite a lot and will usually finish other people's food. So that's why I like going out with people, because it's like, we don't want any more, you can have it. And I'm like, ah, thanks. So yeah, just to say that what I'm eating today isn't what I eat every day. You know, it is roughly the same, but varies accordingly. And also, what I'm going to eat will be different to what you're eating, so don't compare that. Anyway, I've rambled and I'm hungry, so let's go and get some breakfast. So low, and my back really hurts doing this. So, did I tell you the story about my back? I can't remember. Well, I think you guys know that I've had a bad back. So I had an MRI, and turns out I have 3 bulging discs, degenerative disc disease, sacroiliitis, and a potential fracture. Tal doing it properly, because I like to do things fully, the whole shebang, not just one thing. No. Right, so what do I fancy? I don't know. I live in these joggers. They're like the comfiest thing. They're from Topshop, and they're just so baggy and loose and whoa. I need to stop messing around and decide what I'm gonna eat. So, cereal or porridge? I don't know. Well, what time is it? I can't be asked to make porridge, but I kind of fancy it. We'll go cereal, because I can't be bothered to make porridge. So I am thinking I'm gonna have cornflakes and Frosties, because it's a good combo. And I'm gonna have it with some fruit and a protein yogurt. Right, let's prep it and then let's eat it. I always make the mistake of filling my bowl too much, so I'm hoping this is okay before I put the milk in. saw, we've got Frosties and cornflakes, and persimmon, apple and grapes, which are I think my 3 favourite fruits at the moment, and a vanilla protein yogurt, which I absolutely love these. They're so thick and creamy. Oh no. Oh yeah. That's it. That's my breakfast. So yeah, here we go. Sorry, I was watching some funny video on YouTube, that's why I was laughing. That is my breakfast done. Ooh, hello. So the plan for today is to work. I had some cake sent to me the other day and I ate it all, and I've been craving cake since, so I might go and get some for tonight because I'm craving it, and cravings have to be listened to. So yeah. See you in a bit. Yes, I've just literally walked out the kitchen into here to speak to you guys. Firstly, apologies for like the sniffling, coughing, croaky. You're just gonna have to roll with it. I might just go blow my nose. 1 sec. I'm back. Oh man. Apologies for all of that grossness. Okay, I think I'm done now, she says. You guys put up some topics that you wanted me to have a chat about. There was so many, so thank you for that, but obviously I'm not going to be able to cover them all today. A lot of people have said like extreme hunger, how to deal with fear foods and challenging yourself. I have already done those videos, so if you just head over to my channel and go on the video section, you'll see them down there. I also did a recovery I can't speak and I can't talk. I also did a recovery Q&A which covered some topics. I can't quite remember what topics they were because it was so long ago. I don't like to watch myself, so I haven't watched it to see. But if you go and check them out, they are all on my channel. One of the things I thought I'd cover now, which I have been asked a lot about recently, is meal plans. So I think, especially at the start of recovery, meal plans are pretty much vital. Having a meal plan, yes, it can be a little bit restrictive, but at the same time, if you're first starting out at recovery, having a set meal plan can be very helpful, not just for you, but also for like your friends or whoever you live with, to kind of know exactly what you need to have, and so you're both on the same page. And then it's kind of not up to you to be like, it's my snack time, I need to have this for dinner, I need to have this amount. It's kind of written out in black and white for everybody to see, so then there's no confrontation. Well, there probably will be confrontation because there's been confrontation several times when I've been ill, but at least the responsibility is kind of taken off you a little bit. Obviously, if you are first starting recovery and you've been restricting, you need to be careful and wary of refeeding syndrome. Now, I'm not a dietitian, I'm not a doctor, I'm not trained. What I'm saying now is from personal experience. So, I mean, you can take on board what I'm saying, but what I'm saying is don't take everything I say as do this, do that, because I don't personally know you, I don't know your body, what you've been having, what you haven't been having. So from my personal experience, you need to be careful with refeeding syndrome. That means you need to increase slowly and also increase your calcium. If you're starting to increase, I would suggest, well, for the basis of a meal plan, I suggest 3 meals, 3 snacks. And for the initial part, for your snacks, have milky drinks, just because the milk's meant to help with refeeding syndrome. Soya milk, all that type is fine, but don't go for unsweetened almond milk because it's less calories, because then that kind of defeats the object of recovery. You're meant to be increasing and challenging yourself, not trying to find the lowest options, because ultimately you'll then have to increase on something else, and you might as well have something which is exactly the same in quantity but more. So I've said for to some people, for example, if you're having bread for lunch, like on a sandwich, find a bread that is, say, like 110 calories per slice rather than 70, because you're not actually increasing the amount, you're just increasing the the density of it, and then you don't feel like you're actually eating anymore. Because I know in the start of recovery, because your stomach shrunk, that eating more can feel a lot. So things like that, just finding denser foods. So what I was saying was refeeding, so you have to be careful with that. Ideally speak to a dietitian about it, and then start increasing, and I suggest increasing by about 200-300 every 3 days or so, until you're up to a satisfactory point, which again I can't state because some people need more than other people, and I don't know what you need. But if you keep increasing, then if you're restoring weight, keep it at that. Your weight will probably then plateau as your body becomes used to the amount of food that it's getting, and then you will need to increase again. In terms of people asking me what kind of things to have, again, it's preference. I have had several different meal plans, and I found that different inpatients work on different ways. So for example, one place I went to, they had stages, so you'd kind of start on stage 0.5, then you go to 1, then you go to 2, 3. And depending on your weight restoration, you'd either stay on a certain one, and then if you were losing, you'd go up another one. They had a strategic staged plan, whereas somewhere else I went, they actually worked on the calories, which some inpatient units are very against, because obviously eating disorders, you're very consumed with calories and they want you to move away from that. So they kind of have this regimented staged plan where if you need an increase, they'll just add the next thing that is meant to be added. So it's usually things like puddings after lunch and dinner and stuff like that. Whereas this one place I went to, they worked on calories. They had set items you could have, and they were all given amounts. For example, there was a special K bar, which was 100 calories. So they'd always round up, but not as in, this is 82 calories, I'm gonna class it as 100. Doesn't work like that. It was 96, it would be 100. So they worked on calories, and your plan was kind of tailor-made for you, and you actually had input into it, which I guess can be seen as a good and a bad thing, because a bad thing might be you will avoid certain foods because you're scared of them, whereas I think it was a good thing because it was you taking responsibility for what you were eating and when you were having it and what you were having. So for me, that strategy really worked when I kind of didn't think it would. If you knew you struggled with a certain meal or a snack, you could maybe have less and then more somewhere else. For me, I found having a bigger breakfast easier because I always get really hungry in the morning. So my breakfast ended up being about 1,000 calories. And then morning snack I usually struggled with because I wasn't really used to having that, and I'd rather have a bigger breakfast. So I'd have a bit less then. Lunches and dinners were kind of standard set calories. I had to have an increase, so I added a juice with my meal and so on. And then I prefer, as I said, eating more in the evening. So I had, I think it was about 650, 700 calorie night snack. But for me, that really worked, and I liked how I could pick and choose what I had when I had. And also I found it helped because I know some places they're really against calorie counting, and which obviously I understand, but they'd give you, say, food out of its packaging, which, okay, I get, but ultimately when you get into the real world, calories are everywhere. You go in a shop and everything's in its packaging. I think it's good to learn to deal with it rather than have it taken away and then you're discharged away from 24/7 help and support, and then it's like, oh, okay, numbers everywhere. I think for me, knowing helped, and also when I was at home, I'd then start working on a meal plan where I knew... She's snoring again, can you hear her? Oh my god. Yeah, so when I was at home and I had to make meal plans, then I would go on what I kind of did there. I knew the calories, and I also found that helped because rather than saying for lunch I'm going to have a corn, chicken and coleslaw sandwich, and then you'd kind of get stuck with thinking I've got to have that every single day because I can't have this option because it might be a bit more. Whereas if I worked on calories, I wasn't stuck eating the same thing all the time, and I knew that I could have anything I wanted as long as it equivalated to that amount. So I think for me, knowing and working on calories helped me, and it also meant I knew I was having enough, and then when I needed to increase, I knew exactly how much I needed to increase by, rather than saying, oh, I'm just going to add in a biscuit, because what if I then had slightly something less and then added the biscuit? Like, it wouldn't actually be an increase. Whereas if I knew, right, I'm on 3,000 calories and I need to add 200 in, know that I'd be on 3,200. But again, it's all personal preference. But for me, calorie counting did help me set out my meal plan, and then by the time I'd got used to it, I could kind of gauge what I needed to have. Another thing that people were saying is that when they first initially increased, they were restoring quite a bit of weight. That is normal. It's 100% normal because your body isn't used to having an adequate amount of food into it, and also it will be water retention. Your body will retain a lot of fluid initially. When I was in inpatient the one where I knew the calories, I started on, it was about 1,500 and I restored about a kilo in 2 days. Obviously that freaked me out, just like it's gonna probably freak a lot of other people out initially, but it does slow down, I promise you, because I ended up, my neighbour's just out hoovering the driveway. Anyway, I initially restored on 1,500 and then nearing the end of my stay I was losing on 7,000. I was losing on about, I think it was 3,750. So just to prove that it does slow down and it doesn't just rock it. It's just your body getting used to having adequate and frequent nutrition and fluid. That's my ramble. See you in a little bit. I've just got back from Cakes with Daisy because I was seriously craving cake and stuff like that. So got some things there for later. But now it's lunchtime, and at the moment, I think it's because I've been ill and I've been having soup because it kind of helped my throat a little bit. I have been obsessed with soup, and so have my housemates at uni. I'm gonna be having some soup and some bread, and that'll be my lunch. So let's go and microwave it. This is the bread I have, which is really nice, but we freeze it. So there's already one slice out, but I got out another 3 just in case. Waiting for my soup to be done, and then I will do what I did before where I put the bread into the soup because it's like soggy and thick, so that's what we're doing. Does anybody else find that when they're waiting for something to be done in the microwave, it seems like it takes about 20 hours when it's like 2 minutes? Because it just seems to go on forever and ever and ever. So I managed to fit about 1 piece of bread in. So I've got some more here. So yeah, let's eat. But like, this is why I like to put the bread in. Look. That is my lunch complete. I can't really see, sorry. Yeah. All the bread's gone, I've just now left with crumbs all over my laptop. Wonderful. 3 pieces of bread. 3? I think we're slightly wonky, but because you know what we're balancing on. I'm gonna go and do a bit more work, and then I'm going to head to the gym. That's the really exciting life of me. I thought while I'm here, but one thing I want to say is don't compare what you eat to what I eat, and likewise I shouldn't compare what I eat to what you eat. Also, you shouldn't compare what you look like to me and I shouldn't compare what I look like to you. Comparison, it's an awful thing, and I think we all, even if we tell ourselves don't compare, it's a subconscious thing we automatically do. I do it. Like, I can kind of catch myself doing it and then I'm like, stop. What am I doing? Like I said before with the meal plans, I can't tell you what you need to do because I don't know you, I don't know your body. Your body knows you and you know your body. That's it. So what I might need will be different to what you might need. Even when I was in hospital, like, everybody was on different meal plans because some people needed less to restore weight, some people needed more, some people's maintenances were different. Pretty much every inpatient unit I've been in, I've been one of the people who've been on like the highest calorie diet, and I guess that's just because I have a faster metabolism. All my family do. I am lucky that I have a fast metabolism, and I do get people going, how can I eat what you eat and not gain weight? Well, firstly, if you're in recovery, weight restoration is what needs to happen, so there's no point saying how can I eat that and not gain weight. It's not gaining, it's restoring. Like I say, I eat what I eat and my body is happy with that, and I just kind of maintain where I am. I mean, I don't weigh myself, but I don't seem to change drastically, and I know that I can handle a lot more sweet food than most people can, but that's just how I am. And some people can handle more than me, some people handle less than me, but that's because we're all different, and some people saying, you know, oh, I don't know how you can eat all that. Well, I do, and to some people it might seem a lot, to some people it might seem less. We are all completely different, so there's no point comparing you to me and me to you and what I eat and how I look and the stage I'm at. I think when I first started in recovery, I was really bad at comparing where I was to other people, and I look at people who were a lot further on and I'd be like, why can't I be like them? And the answer is because I am where I am now. If you continue to recover and along that pathway, you will eventually get there, but you can't expect to be there when you're only just starting now. You need to stop comparing yourself to other people because it only pulls you down. That is it. It's not going to make you feel any better. Just focus on yourself and where you are, and look at ways that you can improve and continue to progress from where you are to where you want to be. Also, acceptance. You have to accept where you are in recovery. It might not be where you want to be, but ultimately it's where you are now, but it doesn't mean you can't progress to get to where you want to be eventually. Acceptance with body is hard. I remained underweight for 4 years completely. Previously before that, I'd been in and out of relapsing and then in hospital restoring weight. I think I mentioned this in one of my other videos. I'd gotten used to my body being severely underweight, and to me then that became my normal. So when I decided that I needed to get out of this quasi recovery and go for full recovery, I was absolutely petrified. And I thought, how on earth am I going to accept my new body? How am I going to deal with the restoration? How am I going to deal with the changes? Oh, it was horrible. And at first I found it so hard because I was like, I can feel everything. I can feel my arms getting bigger, I can feel my legs getting bigger, my face. I just was like, I can't cope with this. I don't know how I'm going to deal with this whole process. But I persevered, and the first few months were definitely the hardest, but once I kind of got used to it and I just kept going, I stopped thinking about it as much, because at the start, every second of the day, all I could think about was how I could feel myself being different. And I was like, how on earth am I going to carry on like this when every single second all I'm thinking about is I can feel this, I can see this, I can do that. And it was perseverance. I pushed through because so many times I'd done it and then I'd got to a certain point and then I panicked and then I revert back. So I was like, no, push through, just see what happens. And the more I got through and the more I got into my recovery, the less I fixated on it. And I think that's kind of to do as well with giving my brain adequate nutrition, because I was able to see more clearly, think more clearly. It was hard. It was really hard. Before I got to my healthy weight, I was thinking, how on earth am I going to get there? I'm going to hate every ounce of me. And then I got there and I just got there, like nothing really happened. And I actually felt more confident than I did when I was underweight. You have to accept your body because this is your body. You have one body, this is it. Accepting it is the only way that you're going to be able to live with it. And I thought, well, I can either live in this body and absolutely detest it for the rest of my life, or I can live in it and start loving it for what it does for me. I started thinking more positively, and I put clothes on that I hadn't worn in years, and I kind of got rid of some old clothes, bought some new ones because of the memories associated with it, and I could remember how I felt in those clothes. So got some new clothes and I got back into my fashion and I really enjoyed it. And then I'd start putting clothes on and be like, hey, you look good, and just like saying stupid things to myself. And I always think, if you think negatively, you will be negative and things probably won't go right. But if you think positively and have much more of a positive outlook on life, everything changes completely. Just smiling, like I smile so much, like my jaw hurts, but that's just naturally what I'm like. I smile at random people in the street. I don't know who they are, but hey, I say hi to everybody. And I just think that's nice because a smile goes such a long way, and it also makes you feel brighter in yourself if you smile. I also started waking up with a positive thought, because if you wake up and start your day with a negative thought, that's it. You've set yourself up for a negative day. Whereas if you wake yourself up with a smile and a positive thought, you're set to go. It sounds stupid, and I know it can be really hard, especially when you don't have very good self-esteem and you feel bad about yourself, to think of something good to say. But I was just going to say something, but then realised it's actually a quote in Dear Evan Hansen, which is a new musical. It's not a new musical, it's a new musical in the UK. The quote is, today you're you and that's enough. And I think that's brilliant. And I think that just sums up what I've basically been saying. If you don't feel like you're able to wake up and say something positive to yourself, you're gonna feel stupid for it. Firstly, don't feel stupid because I do it. Secondly, if you don't feel like you're able to, log the time that I'm saying this now on the little timey thing. I don't know which side it will be actually, because I'm recording backwards. That side? But anyway, jot the time that I'm saying this, and then you can just play it to yourself when you wake up first thing in the morning and then someone said something positive to you. Today you're you, and that's enough. It's completely enough. Just go out and do what you can today, because you don't know, you might surprise yourself at how well you'll do. And as long as you try your best, that is all anybody can ever ask of you. So go out there, put a smile on your face, and have a good day. Speaking of that, I'm gonna go and do an essay, yeah! So I've been doing my essay for about 2 hours and I feel like death. So I'm gonna go to the gym, but before I go, I'm gonna try these new pretzels, chocolate covered pretzels from Indie Bay that I was kindly sent. So I have milk chocolate ones and I also have dark chocolate ones. So I'm not quite sure which to go for. I'll go milk, and then obviously, quick taste test. Mmm. Oh wow. Rate those. They're new. So if you see them, pick them up. They're really nice. Oh, a bit of a salt ticket. Emergency fudge eating before I go. Well, it's biscuit fish too. I completely forgot I was filming a what I eat in a day. And my thingy's on charger down there. But I'm just eating some grapes, some jam, and I've just finished the Marmite peanut butter and Frosties, because that combo is amazing. And I don't want to show my face because I've just got back from the gym. I'm sweaty. PJs are on, shower's being had, means one thing, my phone's going off, dinner time. I fancied a Sunday roast type meal. I'm going to be having Linda McCartney sausages, which I have been craving, so I actually have just been to Sainsbury's to get them. But I've got the red pepper and chorizo ones because I haven't had those for a while, and I'm going to be having that with some sweet potato mash and veg, gravy, mint sauce, applesauce. So yeah, let's get cooking. Oh, and also apologies, you probably just saw the clip that I actually filmed on my phone because I forgot I was filming a Q&A. I'm not even filming a Q&A, am I? I forgot I was filming a what I eat in a day. Came back from gym, was hungry, sat and did some more work and got out the grapes, Marmite peanut butter, Frosties and jam. So I do apologise that I forgot to film it. But that's another reason I had to go to Sainsbury's, because I obviously finished the peanut butter, so bought a new one. So let's get cooking.
So now you're here again, knocking at my a little too late for, I'm sorry for.
Got an absolute mound of veg, and then sweet potatoes in there, and oven's on, so just need to put in my sausages. Now, Mom absolutely hates garlic, well, the smell of them, but I don't, and I like garlic a lot, so I'm going to put in some garlic cloves as well. So we have Linda McCartney chorizo and red pepper sausages, sweet potato mash, carrots, baby sweet corn, broccoli, green beans, sprouts, kale and leeks. Couldn't think what the word was then. I was going to say sprouts again, but I've already said sprouts. And some garlic. And we've got gravy, applesauce. Mum's hogged the mint sauce and she's got the same but a tart thingy. All the gravy. Clear plates all around. Oh, I have a parcel, thanks. So I have this little box and it says, "Hi Talia, I hope that you are feeling better now. Enjoy these little sweet treats. Sorry if it's a bit early for Christmas sweets. I couldn't resist." How cute this is. So this little lolly is actually kind of like the strawberry laces, but ribbons, yeah. but it's kind of made into a Christmas tree, and that is absolutely adorable. And then I have a little box of sweet selections, and I think they are all of my favorites. I'm gonna try and open it 1 second.
Oh gosh, that's my dream.
This is absolutely insane. Carly, you are an absolute gem. Thank you so much, and you've made my mum very jealous.
Thank you. You had to share them. On the
Carly
card,
definitely did not say on this card, it does not say share with mother. I will put their Instagram now on the screen. Go and check them out. Thank you so much. Sorry if you can hear the kettle. I've been doing some work for an hour and a half and my head is killing me. We're going to watch some TV and I have my snacks for tonight. So I have a Biscoff Rocky Road, a Cherry Bakewell. Mum's nosing because she hasn't seen what I've got. And a Toffee and Biscoff cake with a crispy thing on top. So these are from Cakes of Daisy, which is one of my favourite places. Thank you, Millie and Millie's mum for creating, obviously, is my snacks for tonight. Oh. Away from the cake, girl. Top-notch food right there. I feel like a little bit of savoury / sweet even after my cakes and stuff, so this is it. Yes, on the sofa. Anyway, I just want to say I'm really sorry that I didn't deliver a video last week. See, I was unwell, so it wouldn't have probably gone very well, but I hope you've enjoyed this video and what I've eaten today. Please smash it a big thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you next week for another video. Keep smiling, my friends.